Hi, I'm Tracey Noseworthy from DoYogaWithMe. This practice you're about to do is called Feel the Love, something I feel really strongly about. So have fun. Hi, this practice today is around love, something I truly believe in, all quantities that surround us. And when we were setting up today, I looked down and I found this love rock. So it's going to stay with me today on the mat. And I send you love, and the practice we'll share together. I'm going to start in a tall seat. Take the hands underneath your sitting bones and create extra space by just widening and moving any excess flesh. Softening the inner thighs, and you can actually press your hands on the thighs to draw length on the sides of the body. Keeping the length, draw the hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. And then as you lift through the back of the neck and lift the crown of the head, lower the eyelids. Just do a soft close. And from there, as the mouth closes, it's beautiful to turn the upper edges of your lips to a smile. And love, as we know, surrounds us daily. It's when we open ourselves up to the endless possibilities to be touched by it. That counts. So coming into your breath, noticing the inhale and noticing your exhale. Noticing how the rhythm will almost immediately begin to change just in the time that we slow down, the time that we take for ourselves. Noticing the root of your energy, and noticing the same at equal opposite lift of your energy. And the housing that the physical will hold that of the mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And the existence on many planes in which we practice. We stay curious, we stay expansive, we stay open. Begin to notice perhaps a deeper inhale and a longer exhale. And then noticing underneath the layers of the breath, or the depth of the breath, how that is effortless for you. So we slow down a little. The crease lines, they begin to soften and actually melt through the forehead, around the eyes. And the energy inside the mouth relaxes. And you can humbly lower the chin to the tips of the fingers. And placing here, if it resonates with you, an intention for your practice or your day, or a dedication to somebody else, maybe around love. Let it be nourished and let it be held. And then let it slide away from the thinking brain. Then release your hands, please, softly toward your thighs. And flutter the eyes wide open. And we'll move to begin our practice today in a tabletop. So you can slide the hands to the outer thighs and then just bring yourself to all fours. That the hands will come to the distance that is outer shoulder width apart. Spreading the fingers so the base of your index finger is a root. Taking the knees perhaps an inch behind the hips and untucking the toes so that the toenails engage their energy downward. From here, a long spine, an open heart, and the mouth is closed. And the inhale to take your angry cat. So the chin curls to the chest, the navel to the back of the body, and quite a deep arc of the spine. And with the exhale, to wave the heart forward, known as cow belly. And we'll do that again. Inhale to draw the navel to the back of the body and the chin to the chest. And with an exhale, to gaze forward, open heart, perhaps wider through the sacrum. And one last time. Inhale to curl in, angry cat. And exhale to wave forward, cow belly breath. Pause through neutral spine to now tuck the toes. Press down with the base of the index fingers and take your time to float the hips to downward facing dog. And in downward facing dog, it's nice perhaps to take one heel to the other. Shift from side to side, known as walking out your dog. Keeping the length and the sides of the body quite long, the mouth closed, and staying really aware of the rhythm of your breath. And then slowly bring yourself toward a place where you are still in downward facing dog. The energy between the ankles and the shins, the inner thighs soften behind you, and the length of the tailbone reaches toward the heels. We'll take one breath here together, downward facing dog. Inhale, and the mouth stays closed for the exhale. Then inhale again to lift the heels and lower the knees under the hips with the exhale to untuck the toes. Inhale through an angry cat. And exhale to gaze forward, cow belly. And then on your next inhale through angry cat, draw the right knee to the chin and send the right leg to the back on the exhale. I'd like you to pause there. Hips are parallel, right foot to a flex, and anchor the energy with your right palm down to create balance right away and stability by taking your left arm forward. Take the breath and honor the hips and the shoulders in the same line. Reach the fingertips and the foot opposite directions. And then lower just the left hand down. Tucking the toes of your left foot, float the right leg above you, three-legged dog. Point the toes, take the inhale, and with the exhalation, place the right foot toward the right thumb and lower your left knee down. Floating the arms up and overhead. Inhale, please stay for the exhale. Keeping the back toes in a tuck and the back knee on the earth. Soften the tailbone and draw the low ribs in. And then draw the hands together. Optional interlace here. Palms toward each other, lifting high, or palms touching all the way with the index finger released. Growing tall, working outer hips to inner hips, lift to lengthen, and then with the exhale, arc to the right side. And then stay here, option, as you go a little deeper to the right to bend into the right knee, getting a little more space along the front left thigh. Take a breath. Explore the breath with the exhale. And then float through center on the inhale. Release the hands to frame the foot, and as you exhale, send the right leg again up and back. Gliding toward a high plank pose, hover in your high plank pose. Hips are parallel. And then lower the right foot as you inhale, and lower yourself down to meet the mat with the exhale. Untuck the toes and charge the feet. Inhale through Cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhale toward the knees, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. One breath in, and one exhale out. Inhale to lift the heels, and exhale to lower the knees. Inhale, angry cat, chin to chest, navel back body. And exhale, cow belly. The next inhale, draw the left knee in toward the chest. And with the exhale, sending the left leg back. Pausing to flex the left foot, to hug the muscle of the left inner thigh around the bone, and to send your right arm in front. Again, aligning toward balance, toward the midline, reaching in opposite directions on the inhale, and then lowering the right hand only on the exhale. Tuck the toes of your right foot, and then floating the left leg above you, three-legged downward facing dog. Pause. Take the inhale, stretch the toes behind you, and with the exhalation, place the left foot toward the left thumb, and lower your right knee down. With the inhale, to lift the arms up overhead. And again with the exhalation, taking the grip that you took on the other side. So opposite interlace, palms up, or opposite interlace with the index fingers released. And then settling into the bend of the left knee, back toes are tucked and the back knee is touching down where the biceps will snuggle to the ears and the ribs hug to the back body. You lift to lengthen on the inhale and arc toward the left on the exhale. So noting again, there's a deep enough arc in the side body that you find the accessibility and the stretch in the front of the right thigh. Take the breath. Hug outer hips toward inner hips and inner thighs toward each other and go a little bit deeper. And then come back through center on the inhale. Release the hands to the mat. And as you exhale, send the left leg back into the air. Glide toward a high plank, and there's a momentary pause, a hover with the left leg floating in plank. Lower the left foot as you breathe in, and lower yourself on the exhalation to meet the mat. True hug of the shoulders to the back body. Inhale through your cobra, Bhujangasana, and exhale to the knees, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. We'll take 3 cycles of breath here, so a nice big inhale. And a nice long exhalation. Another cycle of breath. Note the hug of the ankles in, the inner thighs back. As you exhale, extend the tailbone. And the last cycle, inhale to melt the area between the shoulders on the exhalation. Next inhale, float the right leg. And with the exhalation, place the right foot toward the right thumb. And this time, let's keep the left knee lifted. To walk the fingertips below the shoulders, stack the right knee over the ankle, and take your fingertips to the width of your mat. From here, reach the right arm in front of you. Create the extension in the body that you found earlier on all fours, and then opening your right arm above you. Keeping the right knee to a stack and lifting the left inner thigh. Bring the left rib cage underneath you. Open the right arm a little higher and even a little behind you to bring your heart a little brighter. Take one more breath. And then slowly lower your right hand back down to the mat. Stay tented on the fingertips. Reach with the heart to the front, and with the exhalation, lift the hips and draw the right foot to a flex. Stay for 1 cycle of breath. A modified halfway lift on the inhale, and go a little deeper into the forward fold for an exhale. On your next inhale, bend the right knee to square, lower the right big toe mound. And with the exhalation, step back, high plank pose. Take your breath in your plank, and option now to lower halfway to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale over your toes, downward facing dog pose. 1 breath here, nice long inhale, and a nice long exhalation. Inhale to lift the left leg. And exhale to place the left foot toward the left thumb. Bright lift to the fingertips and a long, gorgeous spine. Walking the right hand a little wider, tented fingertips as you inhale to stretch the left arm forward. Open the left arm above you and the exhale. So note again, the left knee square, the right bicep can turn softly to the top of your mat with the right shoulder plugging back, giving you the right rib cage under and the left open. Take a breath, and if it's there, just drift that left arm behind you. Lift the heart. 1 more breath. And with the exhalation, lower the fingertips of your left hand back down. Reach the heart forward on the inhale. With the exhalation, draw the hips toward each other, flex the left foot and pause. Inhale, a modified halfway lift, and exhale to bow. On the next inhale, bend the left knee, plant the palms. With the exhalation, step back, high plank pose. Take the inhale in high plank and lower yourself halfway to the earth with the exhale. Shoulders hug back body. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale over your toes, downward facing dog. 1 cycle of breath in and a nice cycle of breath out. To lift the heels on the inhale, bend your knees halfway with the exhale, and looking forward, step to the top of the mat and bow forward for a full exhale. Pause in your forward fold, bend the knees softly, and toe heel your feet to the full width of the mat. Turning the heels in and the toes out, lower yourself down to a seated squat, known as Malasana, and then welcome the hands to the heart center. And as you find the hands to the heart center here, anchor down the energy of the feet, grow tall and open up the heart. Empty the lungs. And on the next inhale, interlace your fingers and lift to stand. Lift the heart, follow with your eyes. And then exhale, settle yourself back down to the Squatted Malasana. We'll repeat that. Inhale, lift, a gentle arc to the right side of the room, and maybe look under your left arm. And exhale, come back down to the squat. One more time, up and over to the left. Inhale, maybe look under the right arm. And exhale, come back down to squat. Take one breath. From there, lower the fingertips to the earth. Toe heel your feet back toward the distance of your hips. And pause. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, a long halfway lift. And exhale to bow forward. Bend the knees, plant the palms, take your time, step to high plank pose. Your breath in high plank pose, lower yourself halfway to meet the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. As you float over the toes to downward dog, draw the navel to the back of your body and empty the lungs there. Take a breath in, finding rest, and an exhale out to release. Inhale to lift the right leg, and exhale to place the right foot toward the right thumb. Inhale, crescent lunge, both arms float up, and the right knee settles at 90 degrees. You need to pause and tone the left inner thigh to wrap it around that muscle, that bone that hugs there. And from there, keep the left arm lifted as the right arm lowers, and place the right hand upon the sacrum with the broad palm. Settle deeper into the bend of the right knee and snuggle the right sitting bone behind you, and draw the thumb and index finger of your left hand together. And with the inhale, begin to lift the heart. As the heart lifts, the eyes can follow. The left arm wraps behind you. You can stay with your breath. Empty the lungs. And bringing the heart forward, the eyes forward, lift the right arm to join the left arm and open to full warrior two. Taking one flow where the right leg straightens and the arms float up. And on the exhale, move the hands through the heart and settle back to warrior two. Settle a little deeper, the bend of the right knee, the lift of the left knee to charge the left thigh. So the legs are equal in strength and the ribs hug in. Softly turn the right palm open. Inhale for some length, and then exhale, reverse the warrior. Sliding the left hand lightly along the left leg, dive a little deeper to the bend of the right knee, and then lengthen the breath along the right side of the body. Take an inhale and lifting Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor connection. Stay for the exhale. On the inhale, glide back through warrior two. Keep going. And with the exhalation, turn the right palm upward, right forearm to thigh, and left bicep turns to the ear as the arm extends now to the front of the mat. Wrapping the right rib cage under you and lengthening along the left side, soften the eyes. Hug the energy between the feet toward each other and take another breath in and stay for the breath out. Rooting down, return to warrior two with the inhale, eyes are forward. Exhale, bring both hands to frame your foot and send the right leg up overhead. Inhale to glide to a high plank pose, and with the leg lifted but the option to lower, move through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, float over the toes, downward facing dog. Take one breath in and one exhale out. Inhale, lifting the left leg. And exhale to place the left foot to the left thumb. Inhale through crescent. And exhale to stay. So the left knee again, tracking the lines, knee over ankle, right inner thigh is the hug, body is tall. Gorgeous. The right arm lifted, and as you lower the left hand, again the open palm on the sacrum. And again, as you hug the outer hips to the inner thighs will fire up to the midline. And then lifting your heart, the arm will float. And with the lift of the heart, the eyes can follow. There's a stretch here of the right arm behind you and a lift of the chest. Soft eyes, soft teeth, soft tongue. Take one more breath. And then slowly bring the chest forward. Lift the left arm to meet the right arm with your breath, and then open to warrior two with the exhale. Taking one flow where the left leg straightens, the arms lift up. Move the hands through the heart, settle back into your warrior two variation. And gracefully turn the left palm open, reach forward with your inhale to reverse the warrior on the exhale. And the right hand is lightly resting along the right thigh as you lift Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. Hug the low ribs in, known as Uddiyana Bandha, lift and lengthen, and then arc a little deeper with the left arm reaching behind you. Take one more breath, soften again, and stay for the exhale. On the inhale, return to warrior two. Keep going forward as the exhale brings the left forearm to the left thigh. The right bicep turns toward the right ear and the right arm reaches forward. Take the breath to feed the bicep toward the ear. Lengthen along the side body. Take one more breath, big length, and stay for the exhale. Return to warrior two on the inhale, gazing forward with the exhale. Place your hands to frame your front foot. Come to the toes of the back to send the left leg above you. Inhale, glide to high plank, and again with the option of the left leg lifted to lower through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale over your toes, navel draws, back body. Downward dog. Inhale together. And exhale. And then lift the heels on the breath in and lower the knees to the mat on the breath out. Inhale, deep curl of the spine, angry cat. Exhale, open through cow belly, widen the sitting bones and broaden the sacrum. On the next inhale, draw the right knee to the chest. And with the exhale, send the right leg behind you. To pause again, flex the right foot. Tuck the toes of the left foot. And a soft rotation on the knee just to turn the toes behind you, maybe even off your mat. To place the left palm below the shoulder. And as you open, right hip to stack on left hip. A variation of side plank. To float the right arm up overhead. To pause, to lift, to lengthen. And as you bend your right knee, reach your right hand back now to take the ankle. So here's the twist. I want you to hold the ankle, plug the shoulders, bring the left rib cage under you, and then kick the foot into the hands. And encourage the rotation of both shoulders back, still lengthen the tailbone and still bring the low ribs in. Take one more breath. The exhale to release the right leg behind you, right arm again upward. Looking down to the mat, place the right palm. Bring the toes of your left foot back onto your mat. Keep the right leg lifted, three-legged downward dog, right leg to stay buoyant. Inhale for the length. Exhale, place the right foot again toward the right thumb. Inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, twist to the right. As you slide the right knee to square, right sitting bone back, reach the left arm as far forward as you can. Bend the left elbow to the outside edge of your right thigh. Place the right hand on the left hand. Here the hands will slide toward the chest, toward the center of the heart. And as you press the hands into each other, can you lift your body away from the thigh and wrap the left rib cage under you? Plug the right shoulder back. You have the option to keep the hands at the heart. You have the option to release the left hand downward and open the right arm up. Still lifting and toning that left inner thigh. Take one more breath. And then from there, bring the hands back to the heart if they are not. Inhale, sweep through center. Exhale, open up the arms and turn your palms up. Inhale, lift yourself. Exhale, place the palms, step quietly back to high plank pose, and move through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale over the toes, downward facing dog. Without pause, lift the heels on the inhale and lower the knees to mat exhaling. Untuck the toes, curl through angry cat. And exhale, wave the heart, cow belly. Inhale, draw the left knee in toward the chest. And exhale, send the left leg toward the back of your mat. Pause. Flex through the left foot, lift through the left inner thigh. Tucking the toes of your right foot. Just take the right foot to the edge of the mat, sometimes even off the mat. Anchor your right palm below the shoulder, and as you turn to take that variation of side plank, left hip on right hip. Float the left arm above you. Rooting down with the right palm, lengthen the tail. Bend the left knee, reaching the left hand back toward the ankle. Before you kick the foot into the hand, notice the shoulders, draw them to the back of the body. Take the inhale and then begin to extend the reach. The kick of the foot into the hand, the rotation of the right rib cage under, and maybe even the lift of your heart. Take one more breath. To unwind very slowly, left leg to the back of your mat, left arm again up and overhead. Looking down, place your left palm flat. Bring the toes of your right foot back onto the mat. Take your time to float three-legged dog. Point the toes, find the length on the inhale, and then quietly step the left foot to the left thumb, exhaling. Inhale through crescent lunge. And exhale to twist left. Right arm in front of you, left hand back. Reaching forward with the right arm on the inhale. Slide the right elbow to the outside of your left thigh with your exhale. And place the left hand to your right. So guiding the thumbs as close to the heart center as you can, lift the body away from the thigh. And then bring the right rib cage under you and slide the right tricep deeper on the outer thigh. Tone the lift of your right inner thigh. Reach the crown forward. Your option, as you know, is to stay or to release the right hand to the mat and left hand overhead. Stretch the crown of the head, tone the right inner thigh, settle into the bend of the left knee. Take another breath. Slowly bring the hands to the heart. Inhale through center. Exhale simply to open up the arms and turn the palms. Inhale to lift them again all the way up and overhead. And as you exhale, place the palms. Float the left leg up, three-legged dog. Gliding toward high plank, welcome the hover and the lower through chaturanga. Hug shoulders to the back body and then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale over your toes, downward facing dog. Cycle the breath in and cycle the breath out. Lift the heels on the inhale and lower the knees to the full width of your mat, exhaling. Drawing your big toes to touch. Settle yourself back to just a variation of Virasana, but a wide knee variation. And noticing again here how the length in the side body is present. The arms can lift up. The rotation through the circle of the shoulders to bring the fingertips behind you and keep the fingertips facing away from the body. And here as you hug the shoulders onto the back body, lengthen the tail. And as you inhale, bring the chin to the chest, but bring your hips up. And as the hips float up, curl the shoulders to the back side of the body to propel the fourth chakra, Anahata, a little higher. Feed the front body, and if it is safe for you to do so, release the gaze up, overhead, and even behind you. The head is held like a cradle in the upper back. One more breath. And then slowly bring the chin to the chest. Slowly bring the hips to the heels. And bring the hands back to the heart. Take one breath. And release the hands as you open up the eyes. And then bringing yourselves just to tabletop, draw the knees back underneath you enough that you can now cross the ankles from behind. Rolling over the feet. And coming onto your seat. So scooching your way toward the top of the mat and keeping the knees as they are bent, but keeping the feet the distance of your hips. I'd like you to lift the arms as you breathe in. Taking your time to lower yourself down toward the mat on the breath out. So take your time. Lower slowly. And as you meet the mat, pause. So aligning with the space that you found in the thighs, the space that you found in the front body, walking the feet a little closer toward you, and allowing the fingers perhaps to even grace the touch, the backs of your heels, or very close to that area. And then wiggle the length of the tailbone and imprint the inner edges of your feet, let the palms flat. And then to lift the hips on the inhale, anchor the inner edges of the feet with the exhale. Bending the elbows so the backs of the arms are your rooting energy downward, and you'll notice when you press down with the arms you can lift your heart. Lift the shoulder blades into the body. Press down even more, bring the hips higher, and then tone. Lift the muscles of the quadriceps, the front thighs, lift the hamstrings, lift the glute muscles. Bring your hands underneath you, walk to an interlace, and as we did earlier, hug the palms as best you can together and walk one shoulder and the other shoulder closer underneath you. Pressing the energy downward with the forearms, the outer edges of the wrists, lift the hips higher still, and tone. Back bending is about strength in the lower half of the body, the connection to core, as much as it is about bending into the back body. Take one cycle of breath. Release your hands, please, and slowly lower again. When the tailbone touches the mat, roll toward a neutral pelvis. Keep the knees bent. And bring your left hand to your belly and just your right hand to your heart. Sensation and vibration, undercurrents of cellular activity, undercurrents of vibrational movement. Take the breath. Release the hands. Possibly reopen the eyes if they're closed. Imprint with the inner edges of the feet and then float the hips again. Bend the elbows, press the backs of the arms to the earth. Lift the hips higher, rotate the inner thighs to the mat, charge the legs. Bring your shoulder blades up into the body, fire through Anahata. Lift the arms up and overhead. Bend the elbows and place the thumbs beside the ears. And here, before you take Urdhva Dhanurasana, hug the elbows in, lift just to the crown of the head, please. Root the inner edges of the feet, lengthen the tail, plug the shoulders, and then float yourself up. And as you hug the elbows in, charge the legs. Lift to lengthen. Open the heart. Feel the love. Take a breath. Lower the chin to the chest. Bring the crown of the head just in front of you, the back of the head to the mat, and slowly take yourself down to the mat. When the tail touches, roll to neutral, release the hands. This time extend the legs long. Bring the left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. And sensation, adrenaline, and vibration. Take one more breath and let the breath flow freely, full exhale. And then release your hands, please. Take your time to draw one knee and then the other knee in toward your chest. Wrap the hands below the kneecaps, across the shins. Lengthen again the reach of the tailbone. Draw both knees closer toward you. Soften the eyes. Come back to the breath. And then sliding the hands to the outside edges of the calves, take one gentle rock toward the shoulder blades and one gentle rock to return to seated. When you come to seated, please remain in seated and extend both legs out in front. Secure the left inner thigh toward the mat and keep the left foot flexed to bend the right knee and place the sole of the foot toward the upper inner thigh and anchor the energy down. So as the fingertips of your left will walk off the mat, a little wider than your shoulder, lift your right arm up And with a long spine, carry the weight so the right tricep slides to the inside edge of your right knee, and pause to flip the palm and reach somewhere to the outer ankle or outer foot. Rooting with the right palm down and the left fingertips back. Lift to lengthen, again a modified halfway lift. And then exhale to bow. Take one more breath. And a little deeper into the fold. And from there, pause, stay in the fold. Reach the right tricep in front of the shin and wrap it softly behind the body. Reach the left hand back to take the right hand. Anchoring the energy of the right foot down and the flex of the left foot towards you, lift on the inhale, and then fold forward on the exhale. So getting into the hip, but broadening through the lower back, curling the chin to the chest, releasing any energy held in the back of the neck. Take one more cycle of breath. Release the breath fully. And then slowly release the arms, the hands, and ragdoll yourself back to seated. Extending now the right leg in front of you. Tone the right inner thigh. Bending the left knee to place the sole of the foot to the upper inner edge of the right thigh. The fingertips of your right, again, off your mat, a little wider than your shoulder. So the left arm lifts, and as you bow forward to the inside of that left knee, flip the palm and find something on the outside of the ankle, shin, or foot to hold. And on the inhale, create more length. And on the exhalation, bow. Keep the action of the foot in a flex. Keep the action of the left foot downward, plugging the right hip back. Soft release of your left hand as it wraps in front of the shin bone and behind the body. And then reach the right hand back. Again, to lift, to lengthen, to hug the left hip to the back body. Slowly take your time and bow forward. Take the inhale to release the head, the neck, and the breath into the back body. And take the exhale to flow freely. Last cycle. And release the hands. Take your time and bring yourself again back to seated. Release the left leg to the right leg. And then just shake the legs out. From there, perhaps shimmy yourself a little bit closer toward the top of the mat to lift the hands, to lift your heart, to take your time, and to lower yourself down to meet the mat. And when you meet the mat, pause. Keep the knees bent, walk the feet to the full width of your mat. Keep the heels and the toes in alignment. Take your arms off the mat with the palms face up. And then take both knees on a slight drift to the right. Both knees to the same right. Lift your right leg, so the leg that's underneath you, and place it on top of the left. Looking over the left shoulder. Close the eyes. It's a peaceful twist, a freeing twist, an opening twist. Then bring the gaze back through center. The right leg lifts up off the left. The inhale, bring both knees through center. Keep the feet at the edges of the mat, and then take both knees toward the left. The left leg now lifts up and place it on top of the right. And the gaze can look over the right shoulder. The eyes can be open and the eyes can be closed. So just settle into the twist and the freedom again. On the inhale, return. Just lift the left leg, please, from the right. Bring the gaze through center, knees through center. And then settle to make yourself as comfortable as you can be inside the pose of Savasana. The hands can be stretched open. You can be a starfish if you like, feet open. But abandon absolutely everything that you can. Be heavy in the body, and yet be held. Treat your mat much like a hammock that you're being held in, and become weightless in the physical shell. And taking your time to bring some movement back into the body. Perhaps the ankles and the wrists, or that subtle movement first. To bend the knees, to place the feet again flat upon your mat. And then to take your time to roll toward the right side. And then with the eyes closed, bringing yourself back to seated. Welcome yourself back to that cross-legged variation. Hands to the heart. To look inside. As we do channel love, a little less judgment, a little less opinion, and even more understanding. Let that resonate from the cells to the abundance that surrounds us. Draw the thumbs toward the forehead to honor the teacher inside yourself. Draw the hands above the head to honor the light and the love. Thank you for sharing. Namaste.